Actually,
Well, it's been a crazy 1 week. Just got back from England on Monday morning, courtesy of NairaBet, where I had the honor of privilege of going with David Dean to watch Arsenal decimate Hull 2-0. Yep, but it could have been much more. And then up with the NairaBet crew to Old Trafford to watch Manchester United, unsurprisingly, some might say, lose to Newcastle and just dig further in the rut because they lost by the same scoreline to Everton. But moving forward, we've got some cracking games this weekend. The tie of the weekend for me just has to be league leaders Arsenal against Manchester City. Arsenal have surprised everybody, although in my opinion they did drop 2 valuable points against Everton and missed a trick because they could have gone 7 points clear at the top of the Premier League. Have actually now got that wonderful opportunity to put daylight between them and the rest of their rivals. But they travel to an Etihad Stadium where Manchester City is absolutely impregnable. One thing I can guarantee is that there will be goals in this game. I do not see anything like a goalless draw. There will be goals. Who will come out on top, I cannot predict. Arsenal, as I said, have been on very good form. They took Hull apart, but should have done better against Everton, considering that they scored in the 80th minute, but allowed Everton to creep back into the match just 4 minutes later. Manchester City themselves were held by a very, very tough, hard-fighting Southampton, who had lost their last 4 games on the bounce. So that was a very, very good result for Southampton. Not particularly good for Manchester City. Anyway, moving forward, it's going to be a very good game, and I'm looking to a cracking game in Manchester. Secondly, we're looking another good match. Has to be a London derby between Chelsea and Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace have not travelled too well. Didn't have a particularly good result last week, losing. No, I'm sorry, what am I talking about? Crystal Palace have won their last 2 games on the bounce. Tony Pulis has been excellent as the new manager. They won their last game. They beat a hard-fighting Cardiff by a goal to nil. Could have been more. And they're up against Chelsea, who dropped all 3 points against Stoke, who they previously had not lost to in the Premiership. So it's a game that our friend Jose Mourinho really needs to do better in, and he has to wake up the Chelsea faithful because they're allowing Arsenal to sneak away into the distance. Another intriguing fixture for me is Newcastle Southampton. What can I say about both teams? Southampton is the surprise package of the year, and so is Newcastle, who have won 5 of their last 6 games. They've done excellently well. And what can I say? They won at Old Trafford for the first time since 1972. And I spoke about Southampton earlier. They had a very credible 1-1 draw against Manchester City, considering they came from behind and nobody expected them to do that. So that's another fantastic game to look forward to, and one that I'm sure will be goals. Finally, my last pick of the weekend has to be a tie that people don't really know what to expect. It's Manchester United away at Aston Villa. On paper, Villa Park is a place where Manchester United get a lot of joy. They've not lost on their last 7 or 8 outings to Villa Park. But the problem is which Manchester United is going to turn up. We have to remember that they have a very hard tie midweek in the Champions League in order for them to top their group. But most importantly, they need to regain traction in the Premier League race. It's going to be tough for them. Very, very tough, because Villa Park are very, very solid, a very solid team. The game is predicated on the counter-attack. But the problem Villa might have is they're playing at home and their fans are going to expect them to come out. As for Manchester United, they have issues with David Moyes. Whether he's the right man to do the job for Manchester United remains to be seen. So all in all, we're looking forward to a very exciting weekend of Premier League football. And I hope to be back with NairaBet this time next week.